All right, let's get to it. Let's get to it. As you come in the room, share this live with somebody that you want to see win. Share this live with somebody that you want to see win. We're going to get to it. We're going to have to talk about a few things tonight that I just want to have a conversation about. What did I do with that paper? Well, anyway, land investing and some catching up with the Acre Boys. So it's been a couple of days before we went live. I attempted to do a live earlier today and forgot that I had a Zoom call that I had to get to. So here we are, picking up that live, reconvening. I was stating earlier that I was a part of a back to school giveaway over the weekend, which went phenomenal. It felt good to be a part of it. Some of my aspirations is to position the Acre Boys to be a part of regular giveaways, not just school drives, Thanksgiving drives, and things like that. We have given away land for free, but it's been from a virtual standpoint, right? So we want to move into position to where we're able to give it away in person. No, in fact, we have given away land in person on more than one occasion. What am I thinking? We have done that. So, but we like giveaways. We like giving back if we could, right? If you want to go high and you want to continue to soar in the financial department, help people. Find some problems to solve. That's one way to make money. If you can identify problems that people are having, and if you can solve them, you will always make money that way. Although when we do our land giveaways, it's not necessarily that we're asking for something besides that you come and hear about the space. So we give it away for free just to bring people in so they can hear about the space. I entitled this live tonight, Why Land Investing is So Important. Well, to us, it's that important that we decide to give away land. We don't have sponsors when we give away land. Nobody sponsors the land. That's out of our pocket, right? It's actual acres that has been given. Nobody's reimbursing us on the money. So I say that to say, if you're going to win, bet on yourself. Gamble on yourself. At that giveaway this weekend, I had the pleasure to have the conversation with the owner of the non-for-profit who was doing the giveaway. And she said to me that what she finds amazing is that our people, they can't accept free. They can't accept it from us because it was a lot of Spanish ethnicity at the giveaway. And I found that to be a little troubling in my spirit, to be honest with you, that our people, we can't even accept free from our own people. That's troubling. That's really troubling because while time is flying right before our eyes, right, with all that's going on in the world, right, pay close attention. If you look like me, pay close attention. If you can't accept help from your own people, that's troubling because I've never seen it. I've been living for some decades now. I've never seen nobody else come to help us. I'll pause there. Let that sink in. I've never seen someone else come to help us. You can comment if you know otherwise. Please comment if you know otherwise. In fact, the things that they called help for us, when you pull back the cover, it's probably been detrimental. So if we can't accept help from our own, that also says that there's a strong possibility that we can't work together. The strength is in the numbers. The strength is in the to get togetherness. That's where the strength is at. Like, we be so distracted with whatever the latest hype is, whether that's social media, whether that's something music related, whether that's something sports related, some form of entertainment. We be so blinded that we can't see the board clear. And if you can't accept help from someone that looks like you, like, that's why I say, when I scroll through social media sometimes and I see other people, they put out posts, right? Or they'll take somebody else's post and they'll criticize it. Like, shame on you. Go do better. Don't especially someone that look like you. That's corny. That's what that is. Even if you don't like it, go buy it. We got enough people against us. We definitely shouldn't or don't need more of us against us. Right? So Nipsey Hussle, the rapper, he had told a story that when he was younger, him and his boys or his gang, whatever you want to call it, they were riding through the neighborhood and they was looking for an op. They rode past the essays and they didn't see the op. They rode through the white neighborhood and they didn't see the ops. They rode through another neighborhood and they didn't see the ops. When they came back around into their neighborhood, he said, there they go. And it rode around looking for himself or themselves. That's the op. So we just got to do better in that regard, right? Because even with land investing, that's why we say, why is it so important? Because it's an avenue that gives us opportunities to invest. And at the core of everything that I just mentioned, at the core of social media, at the core of you going to work every day, at the core of you being entertained, at the core of you watching sports, at the core of you ridiculing somebody else, at the core of you searching for an op. I've never seen the day that finances wasn't relevant. And they've conditioned us to think that finances aren't relevant. Or finances shouldn't be placed somewhere at the top of our daily conversations. They condition you to just pray. So I don't believe in that. Right? You have to have a relationship with finances. You have to get on the same frequency as finances. How can you have a lot of it and you don't even study economics? How do you not know what your balance sheet is? Are you upside down? Are you ahead of the curve? How we don't know input versus output? How much are we making? How much is going out the door? If you ask the average person, they have no fucking clue. We just outgoing, making money and spending money. We don't know. You probably can guesstimate more of what you make if you're on a 9-to-5 salary because it's written on your check, right? Your year to date. But most people have no clue of year to date, their spending habits. So how do you correct it? Most people don't want to have conversations about saving. So people, sure, they want to land invest, but what's your why? Why do you want to land invest? You want to land invest to make money? If you want to land invest to make money, everything that I'm speaking of, this language that I'm talking about, saving money, studying money, that's a part of it. But we have a bad habit of getting serious when it's time to get serious. When is that? When it's too late. Playing catch up. Going uphill. It is extremely hard. I suggest you get ahead of the curve. It's a hell of a feeling. You have a relationship with money. It controls your mood. It controls your mood swing. That's why some of you keep a permanent attitude, because you ain't got no money. You may smile. Let's be truthful. And I ain't sitting around looking low. I've been there. I just got tired of being tired. I just got tired of doing the wrong thing with money because I had no education or no upbringing or training or relationship with money. Yeah, I come from that family where we ain't talk about money. Why we don't talk about money, Mom? Why we ain't talk about money, Auntie? How do we go through a whole life, a whole generation, and don't talk about money? Make it make sense. My boy had to take his daughter to school. She started college. And back in the day, black people used to drive all everywhere, drive south and things like that. And we would have a good time, or at least we thought we had a good time back then, right? You know, we'd pack sandwiches, fried chicken, juices, put them in the cooler, pack the kids up. We riding deep down south, singing songs, playing games. Thought it was an excellent time. But when you get older, you just realize that it's not really an excellent time because that's not how you travel. You know, and we had a rule. What's the rule? You didn't stop unless what? Unless you had to pee. That's the only time that the car stopped. That is not traveling. But we thought it was so fun because that was just to mask the fact that we couldn't fly. That was to mask the fact that we didn't have money. Because if you had your finances in order, no way you're driving 17 hours. If you're driving and planning to drive 17 hours, you're going to plan a road trip. I'll stop on the 8th hour, get a hotel, rest up, refresh. Then we hit the road again. That's a road trip. But we tell ourselves things to make it okay that we haven't hit our metrics, right? That we haven't attained some of the things that we want to attain. And it's not about material things. But I do believe that even with material things, you're going to desire to want them until you got them. Right? Only people that's not turned on by a Rolls Royce is the people that got them. And then you have other people that may tell a fib to themselves to say, I ain't into those kind of cars no way. It's not true. You just can't get one. I ain't into Ferraris anyway. They sit too low. It's not true. You just can't get one. So you've convinced yourself that you're not into it, or it's not all that they say it is. So I say, ultimately, whatever your desires is, it's going to take some planning. It's going to take being strategic. And ultimately, it's going to take some discipline. Ultimately. And it's not the easiest thing. Why is it not easy? It's because you're conditioned, you're grown, and you've been doing things the same way for a long time. And new habits die hard. You're fighting for the reputation that you built. You're fighting to stay the same. So I've learned that I just tell myself with things that I don't know. I know I don't know. But be really good at what you do know or what you could control, right? So that's why I don't really step out of my realm of land investing, because I'm really good at that. So if it's not broke, don't try to fix it. But that was very troubling to me that the lady said to me, we won't even accept help from our own people. And I've noticed it, sometimes I notice it, but I don't really ponder on it too tough when I deal with social media, because it's social media, right? People don't know you personally, but it's different when someone is in the area, right? Like they had the giveaway at a public library. So the people in that area, right? They should have came out and accepted the gift. You have to be able to receive. You have to be a good receiver as well. All right. It's a lot of things going on. A whole lot of things going on. And I don't know. I don't know what we're going to do. I know what I'm going to do, but always, Black culture, I have some concerns. And I don't know where to begin. Like, where do we begin? Like, I'm in this space. We got a nice sized platform, and we have these conversations either with other influencers that have big platforms. So only thing that I came up with is that you have to be the change that you want to see. That's it. And weed out like-minded people. That's all we can do. We can make offers, and hopefully those offers find the right people, find people that's on the same frequency as you. That's all you can really do. So tax deed investing, we have a class tomorrow. Comment the word deal, D-E-A-L. We have a class tomorrow on tax deed investing, to where we'll be breaking down that whole world. And I would love for you to be a part of it. Come and learn about it and give yourself the opportunity to position yourself. See, I'm not the guy that's going to tell you, I'm going to show you how to tax deed invest, and you're going to go off and you're going to make, a shitload of money and all of those things. Because I don't know. I don't know what you're going to do with the information, right? First and foremost, I don't even know if you're going to show up, because that's the first step. The first step is following instructions and showing up, right? And then come with an open mind to hear information. If the information resonates with you, then you have to act on the information. Then you have to put it to use. Implementation is the next step. So the world of tax deed investing, what I like about it is that there's an entry point for everyone, regardless of where your budget is. Well, just about everyone. If you want to be under this umbrella of real estate, you should be able to afford entry-level investments, $500, $1,000, $2,000, because you won't get it any cheaper than those numbers. So that's what I like about tax deed investing. There's an auction regardless of where your budget is. Like, I did a post today that was exposing Michigan's auction. And it's a really good auction. It ends in about a week. And if you miss that auction, like, it's conducive to growth for new people because of the way that is spelled out at Michigan's auction, right? Michigan auction, if you knew, or if you know. And I'll tell you, like, I don't care. Like, you can go look at the post that's on my wall, and you can see where to go for the Michigan auction. If you decide to do something with it, do something with it. First of all, they got good deals there, first of all. Second of all, I don't know if you'll know what you're doing once you get there. That's why, like, when people will be like, information should be free. It is free. It's a free site. It's a public site. So it is free. You just don't know where to look. So it is free. So you're not necessarily paying for information. You're paying for the organization of information. You're paying for it to be broken down systematically so you can easily understand it. You're not paying for free information. Because I'm well aware of the day that we're living in. You got AI. Ask AI, where's Michigan auction? It'll tell you. But does that still mean that you know what you're doing when you get there? It doesn't mean that. Because if you enter into a bid and it doesn't work out for you, who are you going to blame? You going to blame ChatGPT? So we're not hiding the fact or gatekeeping, because we can't gatekeep something that's public information. We don't own it. But we do know how to participate because we have the experience, because we've participated. So mentorship, you're just borrowing my knowledge base so you can get comfortable, first get experience, and then comfortable. to go out and invest. Because if I give you the site, I promise you, if you've never seen it or never invested in it, you're just going to look at it. You won't do anything with it. So this is why we say show up to these classes, right? Comment the word deal, DEAL. Show up to the class so we can break it down for you, right? And then once it's broken down, you start to say, oh, I can do that. Auctions are very straightforward. Here's the rules. In every auction has something that says buyer beware, buy at your own risk. You won't get a refund if you don't get it right. So tomorrow night, 7 p.m., we'll be live with that class. We enjoy doing the lives. It's a good time. It's always really good energy when we do those classes. 7 p.m. It's our tax deed tutorial. You won't even be that long. We're in and out within an hour. So spend a little time tomorrow. If you're on TikTok, you have to DM me the word deal. We are streaming on all platforms. If you're on Instagram and Facebook, you can comment the word deal, DEAL. And if you're on YouTube, you can comment as well. Visit DC said, can you recommend best websites to sell land? In the beginning, we always recommend that you utilize all the free resources. Facebook Marketplace is an excellent place to sell land. It's free, right? We always want to exhaust all free resources. Facebook Marketplace, it is certain things that we recommend that you do when you're selling on the marketplace. And I can tell all, I really don't care, but most people with the marketplace has a rating. Higher the rating, the more trustworthy you are. Like, that's why we say when it comes to land investing, the first thing that you want to do is become credible, right? Nobody knows you for selling land. New people who may not hear what I'm saying or understand what I'm saying, they may get a piece of land and then they put it on their regular page that they got family pictures up there. They got pictures of them out eating, pictures of their kids. Then here comes, I'm selling land now. It's not that believable. So we say don't mix and match. Because a confused buyer doesn't buy. Like, if you came to my Facebook Marketplace page, in my Facebook page that we service land on, you only see one thing, land and more land. It's very clear and concise of who we are and what we do and what we represent. So Facebook Marketplace is an excellent place to sell land. You just have to understand how to work the marketplace to become an effective seller. Zillow, also free resource, ton of traffic come through Zillow. Those are the two that I recommend new people starting off. And it all depends on what we have as well, right? Zillow, you can put any denomination. Facebook Marketplace, I've sold things on Facebook Marketplace from anywhere from couple of $100 and to all the way up to 150,000. Although the 150,000 deals and things like that, those are still ran through title and closed with attorneys. So it's just to attract a buyer. Then we do the business off of the marketplace. Denominations under $5,000, people will pay when it comes to land. They'll put that on a credit card. Under $5,000. Anything over $5,000, most people are not putting it on their credit card. You probably have to go through title. That's just what we've seen through the years. Ever do a USDA rural development program? No, we're very familiar with the USDA programs, but no, we've never done them. From my understanding, we have several people that have applied for the USDA loans. I haven't really seen so many of our people get through, however. So I'm not saying that they don't work. I'm just saying my experience, I don't know personally a lot of people that has had success with the USDA loans. I do understand that certain counties, right, because we study this stuff, there is a push for rural development. So that's a good point. There is a push for rural development. So I am aware of that. But if I was being honest, we haven't had much success with the USDA. Maybe you would, though. All right, so comment the word deal. Y'all show up, and I'm gonna look at something before I close out. I'm gonna look at a land bank. Why land banks? Right? Why am I looking at land banks? See, this space, this space that we're in, it offers a lot, and land banks are good, depending, in my opinion, on location. And when I say location, first of all, what's a land bank? Right? Land banks is an entity that handles blighted properties for said county or city, and they'll offer those properties to the public for a huge discounted price. But there's conditions. Most of the time there's conditions with dealing with a land bank. Conditions like you have to, if it's vacant land, you have to build on the property. If it's a house, you have to rehab the house. A lot of them have conditions that if you do rehab the house, you have to live in it, or you can't sell it for X amount of time, things like that. Each one has different rules. We've identified some that you can buy directly from and sell, and there's no penalties for it. It's not a lot of them, but we have identified the ones that allow us to do that, right? You just have to know, right? It's all public information. But once again, the whole thing with everything that we teach and speak about is, do you know what you're doing? Do you know how to evaluate land? That's the question. So land banks, if let's say Ohio, if you live in Ohio, Ohio has a lot of land banks. It may be a smart idea for you to look up some of those land banks if it's in your area. Why I say in your area? Because you don't want to be investing in things that you have to hold on to and you can't see. That's tough. Has it ever been done? Yes. But it's a tough task for the average person to be trying to rehab a house and they're nowhere near the area. That's tough, right? You gotta have trust with whomever you hire. And land banks, when you fill out the paperwork, most of them you have to put down who you're hiring, your construction guys and things like that. They have to be vetted and approved. Most of them. So look into your local land bank as well for vacant land. You get great prices. We've identified the ones you can buy directly from with no penalties. And that's just another avenue to explore. We want to give ourselves max opportunities to win. So I'm going to look at a couple of land banks in a particular area that I'm not too far from and see what I see, right? And this is what we give to our community. I'll search the list. If I find it to be valuable, then I'll give it to my private community. If I don't really find too much on it and it's not that valuable, I'll put it in my personal stash, because these lists, they always replenish. Might not be valuable right now, may be valuable in another 3-4 months. Being a tax deed investor, that's something that we teach as well. It's your responsibility to stay abreast of dates. Dates are important in our world, right? You have to be organized, because lists come out, you want to know about them. You want to be the first for the type of investing that I like to do. I like first come, first serve auctions, which is exactly what it states. First come, first serve, you get the property. How do you become the first if you don't know the dates that the list is dropped? So dates are highly important. Being organized is highly important, right? Then you got eBay style auctions. I'm not really a big fan of eBay style auctions because I don't have the time to watch a clock. But if you do, a lot of people have a lot of success with eBay style auctions. I just don't have the time to watch the clock. When's the best time to bid? Drop it in the comment on an eBay style auction. Drop it in the comment. When is the best time to bid? I won't tell. You should know that. I kind of gave it away with how I framed it. And that's why I don't have time to watch the clock. All right, how long we been on that? All right, people. Y'all show up to go up tomorrow. We'll be going live tomorrow, 7 p.m. We do start on time, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Comment the word deal. Once again, if you're on TikTok, you have to DM me the word deal, DEAL. If you're on Instagram and Facebook, you can comment the word deal. If you're on YouTube, you can comment as well. And we'll be there. We live in the flesh. You can ask questions on those calls. It's not a replay. It will be live. And any questions that you have, we stick around, we answer them. We'll present the information to you for you to make decisions. The biggest thing you can do for yourself is make a decision. If you're on the fence about anything that you heard tonight, don't be. You don't have to be. Either come down the fence or come over to the winning side is my suggestion, right? We'll be happy to help. We service a lot of people, and we like what we do, and we want you to win. Ultimately, that's what we do this for, so people can win, so you can be the next success story, so you can put some cash in your pocket. I like money. You like money? I'm not ashamed to say it. I like money. I want to break bread with you. I want to start you off slow so we can begin to do bigger deals, right? People ask all the time, can I send you deals? Yeah, you can send me deals. Why do you want to send me deals, right? Because we will put money up for deals, but people don't send me nothing good. I just haven't had a good deal that came from the public. Wholesalers send me stuff, and no disrespect to wholesalers, but oh God, the ones that send us stuff, the deals never work. I respect it. I respect all that's trying to, feed themselves, but I had to even have a conversation with one wholesaler and tell him how to do his job. Like, I'm not mad at wholesaling, but when you come like to somebody that's in position like me and you have wholesale deals, at least have the deal. I was actually interested in the deal. Then when I went back to him and said, I'm interested, he said, oh, they sold it already. Well, I thought you had the deal. You're a bad wholesaler. Now you're wasting my time, wasting your time. Nobody wins. Nobody eats. So we will accept deals, or if you know of deals, off-market deals. What's off-market? Things that's not on market. Why don't I want on-market deals? Because it's priced at the top of the market. We can't make money. I had in the training last week, guy bought me an on-market site and said it was a property for $40,000. He said I got him down to $32,000. So where do we make the money at? Because if it's $40,000, that a realtor, right? So you just have to think. I don't even think people think, and I don't know why. Maybe we have a lot more experience in this than people, but if a realtor, a licensed professional, listed a property on market, her job or his job is to first service their client, to make sure their client get max amount that their property is worth. Would that be correct? Right? And then they're in it to make money for themselves. This is their job. This is how they make money, by listing properties. So the higher the price point that they can offer, the more money for their client and the more money for their commission. So when you bring me an on market deal and say, I got it down some, first thing that says to us is, well, that's what it's worth. If they let it go, that's what it's worth. So unless I'm using it for personal use, how do we make money on the deal? That's usually what happens. Crickets at that point. So we say, learn how to find off-market deals where the equity is already in the deal. For example, my mentees, when they bring deals, one deal that we're looking at now, let's talk about something that's a potential real deal, is a buy for $55,000, sell for $130,000. That's a deal. It's about $80,000 worth of equity in the deal. We can make money off of that. Both parties can break bread off of that deal. It's an off-market deal. That is where you're going to find your best spreads at. On market, it's tough. Have people found deals on market? Yes. But it's tough. It's tough. Really tough. And they go quick if it's really a deal. How do you find off-market deals? You have to know how to put offers out into the marketplace to off-market owners. That's how we find deals. For example, the county that you live in, we have the capability to say, who owns land in that county? And then we send them an offer. How many people live in your county? Ask yourself that. You don't have to answer. I'm sure you don't live in a town that's almost off-grid. So how many people do you think own land in your county? A lot. So if I put an offer into everyone's hand that own land in your county, do you think that someone would want to sell? Or do you think everybody's just going to say, nope? How many counties is it across the country? Over 3,000. You won't buy it all in your lifetime. That's why when people be like, "Oh, like is it a crowded space?" It's not a crowded space. There's plenty of opportunity. I always say to that, how does a realtor sell houses and have a career as a realtor in one or two counties? 20, 30-year career. Answer that. It's like 1.9 billion vacant acres. And for the smarty pants that's saying, yeah, they're not all usable. It all depends on what you're looking to use it for. Some people don't want to use it to build houses. They said that about desert land a couple of years ago. It's not usable. Go look up and see where they're building all them data centers at, and they buying that desert land for millions. But you still think it's desert land. That same desert land you could have bought pennies on a dollar a couple years ago. We'd be out of position. In fact, we don't even know what be going on. till it's going on. They just asked in the comments about the USDA rural program. Why is there a program for rural development? Why? You think they just came up out the blue and said they want to do a program for rural development? They took their time to put a whole program together for rural development. You have to understand how the game is played. The game, they're always a couple of steps ahead of the news and what's advertised, especially when it comes to development. For example, Fulton County, Atlanta, Georgia. Do you think Atlanta, Georgia was always fully developed? You would be wrong if you said yes. So they come into contact with places, then they build it out. Then they build it out some more. 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 And it starts really cheap. Then it gets expensive. And each area that they go to starts out that way. Those that know, they position themselves when it's cheap. And then when it hits this climax, they have options. Hold, pass it down, generations to come, sell, go do things with it. For example, my partner bought in Fulton County, 2015, 30 acres for $300,000. Fast forward 10 years later, that same 30 acre, he has it on the market for 4.7. He's turned down 3.7. What did he do with the land? Did he wave a magic stick at it and it turned to Never Never Land? Absolutely not. It's the same land from 2015. How did it appreciate from 300,000 to 4.7? The area is going through a major growth spurt. And we just be late to the party. All the time. By the time we get there, we say, what happened? Oh, I want to buy there. Sure, you can buy here. It's at the top of the market now. So with that said, I personally know that major developers, they're not buying in Fulton County anymore. Where are they buying? Well, they decided to move 2 counties over, 3 counties over. Why? Who lives there? See, that's what you're probably thinking. Nobody over there. Okay. Not yet. They're not there yet. God. That's why I say, with investing, it takes time. With that one statement that I said, they're not there yet. And most of us, we just want to come in at the top and make the most money as fast as we can. Wouldn't that be great if it just worked like that? So when I say they're not there yet, that means that 2 counties, 3 counties over, they're getting it for the low. They're getting it at the cheapest price point. While we're sleeping, they're positioning themselves. Because if you look at the history, which most don't, it's been a steady timeline of how they built Fulton County. And it's just not Fulton County. Look at other areas. Look at Arizona. It's the same exact thing. Or do these places just magically pop up? They just pop up out of nowhere. So maybe one day, I don't know, maybe one day we'll understand how the game is played. So what you just see as vacant land or dirt, it is just vacant land and it is just dirt until it's not. Pick the right location of just vacant land and dirt, you potentially have hit the jackpot. Potentially. But the data definitely doesn't lie. I'll tell you now, the data says in Fulton County that over the next 10 years, South Fulton is the next area to experience a boom. It's not my opinion. The rest of Fulton County has experienced it. So when Fulton County on a whole has been fully built out on all sides, north, south, east, west, what happens then? They move to the next county. Comment the word deal. DEAL. I'm gonna cut out. What time is it? 9:00. Yeah, I'm gonna cut out. Comment the word deal. We've been on here now for 46 minutes. I time these lives. I time myself. But I need y'all to show up tomorrow and show up and show out. Come learn something. Let's get some money together. With all that I said, like whether you understand or you don't understand this, and I'm sure you do. You need resources, right? You need some provision for your vision. You all have these aspirations and things that you want to get done. Hey, brother, hey, man, what the hell is that? But you need resources. And this, what we'll talk about tomorrow, it's an entry-level lane that you can get started within a couple of months. You could be making a couple of thousand. Could a couple of thousand coming out the gate help is the question. If so, comment deal, and I'll see you there tomorrow night. All right, peace, love.